If you think the Canadian real estate investment scene is thin on investing opportunities, think again. Our next guest runs a hedge fund that has returned more than 100% since the summer of 2008, and the vast majority of the money invested is in real estate securities. Joining us in studio is Jeffrey Olin, President and CEO of Vision Capital Corporation. Thanks for joining us, Jeffrey. We've talked to you before. Huge performance over the last couple of years, 108%. Blew all the other hedge funds out of the water, it would appear. Is the situation in place to do that again, or something similar, or even half of that would be great over the next couple of years?
Well, firstly, you need to understand that's not our objective. The returns are very nice. The risk profile is of equal importance to us. We target 15 to 20% returns on an annual basis, and we think that's achievable, and we continue to find quite compelling investment opportunities.
And certainly the time frame was a little easier. Everything was falling. The world was ending in 2008, so your time frame was particularly good.
Yes and no. We launched in July 2008, so we could have been out of business pretty quickly. But my partner, Frank Mayer, and I have 60 years' experience. We've seen this before, and we reposition what we typically do to respond to the market conditions that were presented with us. We didn't know what was going to happen in late 2008 any more than you did.
All right, okay. Let's talk a little bit about some of the companies. One is, and we talked about this in the break, Ed Leon.
Yes.
Ed Leon Group, a daycare business. It is, you sit on the company's board of directors. I should clarify that as well. What is going on at this company? And daycare businesses, people think, well, that's a mom and pop shop.
Well, that's precisely the point. We're extremely excited about this opportunity. We were involved in our careers with consolidation plays with Boardwalk and Killam Properties that started as very small companies and became very significant players in the Canadian scene and returned investors 5 to 15 times return on their money. We see the same potential here. They're a consolidator of child care centers in a mom-and-pop industry. That's precisely the opportunity. Canada's the last Anglo-Saxon country on the planet that hasn't gone through both a consolidation and a professionalism. Ed Leon has a world-class management team. They've grown from 11 centers to 30 centers in the last 10 months. We see the fundamentals have caught up and perhaps surpassing the share price. The stock is cheap. We see big things for this company. This is a long-term hold for us, and we think this could be a very major company in the Canadian landscape and providing a very important service because of the shortage of child care spaces in this country.
Does the election, either in Ontario or the federal election, come into play here at all?
Well, it's a kind of industry that every political party, every time there's an election, seems to be arguing about who's going to throw more money at child care because of the shortage and because of the social need and the social infrastructure. So it's quite well supported politically. The Ontario scene does cause us a little bit of sensitivity. Some of the unions would, not necessarily enthusiastic about a private operator, but clearly the need is there, and Ed Leon does a fine job, and I think you'll see them play a national player.
And let's talk about one of the other holdings, Main Street Equity Corporation. You have about a 10% stake. This is apartment units in Western Canada.
It's apartments with a focus on Western Canada. Again, one of the themes we see in investing opportunities is the Japan situation plus the Middle East situation to us spells big opportunity for the oil sands and Alberta economy, and so a substantial part of our portfolio is in the West. Ed Leon, Main Street, Melcor, significant weight. And Main Street is a consolidator of apartments, mid-markets. They buy beat-up, undermanaged apartments, they re-tenant them, they fix them up, they refinance them, and they create tremendous value. We believe the stock is worth $25 to $30 a share. It's trading at $17. It's cheap, and we have, as you mentioned, recently announced that we are now in just in excess of a 10% shareholder.
Well, these I'm not going to call them roll-up strategies, but these consolidators, can they sometimes mask, oftentimes they mask the weakness in the underlying growth? How do you prevent that? How do you, or do you worry about that?
Well, certainly in Ed Leon's case, there's a lot of growth there, so I'm not sure they're masking it. I think they're perhaps highlighting it. In Main Street's case, apartments, as long as there is migration, employment growth, people need to live somewhere. And Main Street's doing a good job of taking mid-market apartments above the realm of the mom-and-pop investor, below the realm of the institution, fixing them up and providing compelling option for middle-income earners.
Okay, and the last name, Morguard Corporation, is the 8th largest real estate entity in the country. What is the opportunity here with Morguard?
Well, Morguard, here's a perfect example of the inefficiencies in the marketplace, what's allowed us to enjoy the returns that you noted earlier. Here's a company that's trading around $60. The appraisal independent values have pegged this at over $100 a share. That's as is. They are the large company, 18 million square feet, well-managed, diversified. We see some catalysts there, not only the valuation catalysts, but they have about 10,000 residential units, about 70% of which are in Canada. We see the potential for an IPO spin-out as a catalyst to create some value in the apartment sector. This stock is cheap, it's large, it's high quality, and we have a significant position in it.
Sounds like it has everything going for it.
It does. In fact, one of your guests recently, David Baskin, highlighted it as well as one of his picks.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us,
Thank
Jeff.
you. Good to be here.
Jeffrey Olin, President and CEO of Vision Capital Corporation.